What's the matter with Ferdinand? Well, it's a terrible, terrible disease. Lycanthropia. Those possessed with it imagine themselves transformed into wolves, steal forth to churchyards in the dead part of the night, dig dead bodies up, just like the Duke did the other night. About midnight, he was seen behind the church with the leg of a man on his shoulder. He was howling, said he was a wolf, and the only difference was a wolf's skin was hairy on the outside, whereas his was on the in. So you will all need to take your injections, COVID-19 and lycanthropia, and watch out for the full moon. Okay, so we're back in Rome. Now at this point the plot becomes a little bit confusing, if it wasn't already. So Bosola comes in to try and get his money from, what's his face, the cardinal. Yep, okay. But the cardinal pretends he knows nothing about the Duchess's death and instead asks Bosola how she is, okay? And he asks Bosola to bribe Delio, remember him? To tell him where Antonio is. So the cardinal leaves, and at this point Julia comes in and she's pointing a pistol at Bosola because she's fallen madly in love with him. And you know how she does her giddy turns when she is madly in love with him. And she thinks he's put a kind of spell on her and drugged her. Now Bosola, of course, has a good plan, a good brain, and he thinks that he can use this to his advantage, okay? So by getting her to find out what the matter with the cardinal is, so that he can bribe the cardinal. Okay, so the cardinal comes in to meet his lover, Julia, and he confesses everything to her. By my appointment, the great Duchess of Malfi and 2 of her young children, 4 nights since, were strangled. But then, of course, now Julia knows what he's done, so he has to kill her. So what he does is gets her to kiss a poisoned Bible. Pretty sacrilegious, hey? Then she dies and he gets Bosola again to get rid of the body. Later that night, Bosola realises that Antonio is in danger. So what he decides is to seek Antonio out, saying that all his care shall be to put Antonio into safety from the reach of these most cruel biters. And at this point, Ferdinand comes in. Strangling is a quiet death, I guess. Ooh. Shh, I must stand my guard. What, say that? Whisper softly. Do you agree to it? It must be done in the dark. The cardinal would not for £1,000 the doctor should see it. So just like with Lady Macbeth, he's basically kind of going over the crime that's been committed. But Bosola thinks that what he's hearing is the plotting of his death. Are you with this? So it's night time, and Antonio has come with a plan to try and meet the cardinal in the middle of the night when he's at his prayers, kind of a good time to kind of chat, maybe to kind of like concede some kind of friendship deal with him. Yeah. But because it's so dark, as Antonio comes up, and remember it's the middle of the night, Bosola thinks that Antonio coming up on him is, let me get this right, is the person coming to kill Bosola. So Bosola stabs Antonio, and Antonio dies. So the next scene is the cardinal comes in, and the cardinal is trying to work out how to save his soul because he feels such guilt for having killed his sister. Doesn't seem to feel much guilt about Julia, but he feels a lot of guilt about killing his sister. And Bosola enters with Antonio's body and declares that he is going to kill the cardinal. Bosola then kills the servant who's come in to protect the cardinal, and then he turns around and he kills, well, he stabs the cardinal. Ow! I'm hurt! Again. Bah! Help! 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 I'm slain! Alarm! Alarm! Here, I'll get you! No, I'm your brother, you idiot! No, you are the devil! Have this! And he stabs Bosola and the cardinal. Oh no, says the cardinal, that's me done for. Justice, I suffer now. Oh, what are you wittering on about? It's just a toothache that you've got. Now, Bosola gets up and stabs Ferdinand. Ha ha! My revenge is perfect. Yeah. Okay. So, how many dead bodies are there? Okay. How many dead bodies are there? There's Antonio the servant. The cardinal has been killed, but he's not quite dead. Ferdinand has been killed, but he's not quite dead. Bosola is killed, but he's not quite dead.
Yeah, not to mention Leica and Sindy.
Yeah, okay.
Various children.
Julie. Oh yeah, the children
and Peg Doll.
Cariola. Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. You're doing well. You're doing well. Okay. Then Ferdinand's still talking absolute nonsense. Now he starts asking for some hay, and says that the world is just a dog kennel. Oh, my sister, whether we fall by ambition, blood or loss, like diamonds, we are cut with our own dust. Yes, says Bosola, I am just glad that you both, who stood so tall like huge pyramids, have ended on a little point, a kind of nothing. And we might just knock them over for that. So some people come rushing in. Don't worry about the fact that they look rather like the inhabitants of the madhouse from earlier. And Bosola is running around, making sure that they're all dead, shouting, revenge, revenge, revenge for the Duchess of Malfi, murdered, revenge for Antonio, slain by my hand, revenge for the lustful Julia, poisoned by this man, and lastly, revenge for myself, a mere actor in it all. Oh, I am gone. Because remember, he was stabbed by
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand, that's right. Okay, he was stabbed by Ferdinand, so he's now dying too. And he says, oh, I am gone. We are only like dead walls or vaulted graves that ruined yields no echo. Fare you well. Oh, this gloomy world, it's a deep pit of darkness in which womanish and fearful mankind live. So, everybody's dead. At which point, Delio returns. And with him is the young prince. Delio says, I heard and came armed, but I bring the young prince. Let us establish him as duke. Those others, and he nods his glowing head at Ferdinand and the cardinal. They are just like prints in the snow that melt and leave nothing behind. Integrity of life is fame's best friend, which nobly beyond death shall crown the end.